aiming for wigs, some aiming to kill. Set up and the men's don't give a fuck, you can still get drilled. All I wanna do is crush that porn. My niggas them told me make peace before you go to war. I said fuck that, I wanna drill now and then drill some more. Smoke my man in the face, yeah that point got scored. Couldn't give a toss about law, niggas no CP. More time if it was done by the 7, it was done by me. I ride for my G's, put my heart on the streets. So if you see me, that's not my teeth. So chat tough and I'm spinning round. Ask the ops how that spin the sounds. When I spin the bangs, try and know that's a nigga down. And where I'm from, we always know to keep things around. All the risks that the team be taking. That's why my nigga Nero's money.
Excuse me. Salute all you've got in the house. Mr. Johnson. Alright, Mike. You alright, bro? I've sent you a link if you want to get on. It's up to you. Excuse me, but I've sent you one. A lot of things have happened in boxing since I was last on a couple of weeks ago. So I want to quickly kick off talking about last week's fight with Arthur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. That was absolutely demolishing by Arthur Beterbiev, or Beterbiev, or how you ever say it. Bruce goes, salute to you, Bruce. Hope you're good out there, brother. If you want to get on, you know you're welcome anytime. Thanks for popping through, Bruce. Hope you're good, bro. Or should I say Bruce Gas now? I can't help it but keep calling you Bruce Goes by your old name. Yeah, so I don't even think I uploaded the picture, but never mind. Excuse me. I thought I'd uploaded the picture, but yeah, I want to talk quickly about Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. Yeah, I stayed up for the fight. Eating right now, bro. Yeah, no worries, bro. Thanks for coming through, Bruce. Like I say, I haven't been on here for a while, so I don't really expect many people to come through. But thanks for popping through. Salute, Mike. I've sent you a link if you want to get on, bro. It's up to you. You've probably got football practice, but I've sent it there if you want to get on. Yeah, so just quickly want to talk about Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. I expected Joe Smith Jr. to do a lot more than that because he's a big puncher. The guy's a good boxer as well, Joe Smith. I did predict that Beterbiev would stop him, but I thought it'd be very late on as Beterbiev is a slow starter. But in that fight, he didn't start slow. He came straight out of the trenches, all guns blazing. And Andrew 100, salute to you, bro. Hope you're good out there. Here he is, Mr. Johnson. I haven't spoke to Mike. Salute, Mike. You all right, bro?
Yeah. Just chilling, you know me.
Been a long time, Mike. So let me get rid of this, bro.
Did you get rid of what?
That's better. Yeah, Mike. Did you watch the Beterbiev fight last week, brother?
Yeah, and that's what I expected.
Yes. I did myself, Mike, but I didn't expect him to blow Joe Smith Jr. out of the water so quick. I was very...
Well, the quick part, yeah.
Yeah, I was very impressed by him. It's been confirmed... Well, I read earlier, Mike, it's confirmed... Fish Eyes has confirmed that
Anthony Yard or whoever, yeah.
Yardy will be fighting him.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll fucking see.
Do you know what, Mike? Right. At first, when I read about this last week, very early on last week, that he would be fighting, that he would be possibly fighting Beterbiev, and I thought to myself at the time, I thought, Nah, he shouldn't do that. He shouldn't do that because he's not been fighting that stellar stellar opponents like anything like that. I mean, his last two fights were Lyndon Arthur. No disrespect to Lyndon
Huh.
Arthur, but yes, I know he corrected the second one, and but he should have never lost the first one. Now, fighting Lyndon Arthur and then going over and fighting Beterbiev is like shopping at flipping Aldi and then going shopping at Waitrose. You know, one's a cheap store, the other one's an expensive store, or Tesco's, or Asda, or Morrison's. You know what I mean? And then you when you normally used to shopping at Lidl or something. But anyway, that's what I thought. Mr. Pad, salute to you, bro. He's put big up, lads. You signed Kevin Phillips and Leeds today. Yes, yes, we have. It's not confirmed yet, Mr. Pad, but it's virtually a done deal.
I think it's happening.
But the thing is, though, Mike, I thought to myself, nah, he shouldn't fight him. He should fight Callum Johnson and other fights like that. But then I thought to myself, well, fair play to Yardy because you got to give him credit because he's not been the most active fighter, and then going to fight someone like Beterbiev after fighting Lyndon Arthur, I can only give the guy praise because at least he's stepping up. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if he's fighting bums still. Rob,
Yeah.
salute to you, Rob Sportsman Lee. Salute to you, but I finally caught a live stream. Yeah, salute, Rob. I haven't been on for a long time, Rob. But thanks for popping through and I hope you're good out there. So, what I'm trying to say, Mike, is do I see him winning? Probably not. But one thing Anthony Yard's always got is a puncher's chance because the guy can bang himself. I think he's a lot younger than is Peterviev's 37 now, isn't he? And I think Yard's only 30. Can he do it? I very much doubt it, but I'll definitely think it'll be a good scrap whilst it lasts. That's what I think. What's your take on it, bro?
My take is shout outs to the young lad, you know,
Yeah, facts, mate.
for risking it all. He's not scared to get in there with somebody. But, you know, if you're gonna fight this dude, if he's gonna fight this dude on the inside, he
Mm.
better hit him first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, if you're gonna if you got to move against Beterbiev because he's going to move. He's not
Yes,
going to sit still. And people might think that he sits still and stuff like that, but he moved. That,
yes,
that little fucker be moving. And if you're going to sit there and think that you're going to be patient with some shit with him, it ain't happening because he's just going to let those fucking hands go, and he's
mm.
going to get fucking lucky and
Yes,
land something. Even if he is not trying, he's going to get lucky and land something. And what you going to do?
yeah. Good point, Mike. Tyrone, salute to you, brother.
What's going on, bro? What's going
You
on,
okay,
Mike?
bro?
Well, Tyrone.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
We're just quickly talking about Beterbiev fighting Yard. Just quickly, Ty, before hand it over to you. I was just saying to Mike. At first, I read about this very early on last week, even before the fight, that he was due to Bob Arum. Bob Arum had come out and said that he will be fighting Artur Beterbiev next, as he's the WBO mandatory. And at first, Ty, I was thinking that's suicide. You know, like I just said to Mike, it's like either I know you don't know what it is, but I suppose it's like shopping at Walmart and then shopping at the Plaza or something. It's over here we say it's like shopping at Aldi and then going shopping at Waitrose. It's a different ball game. He's not been in that league, but as the week's gone on, I've thought to myself, like I just said to Mike, well, I've got to give the young lad credit because at least he's stepping up. Do you know what I mean? The only problem with several problems with me with Anthony Yard. One, he's not active enough. Two, he's not been fighting the best opposition, but at least he's gone and he come unlucky against Kovalev, whatever his bloody name is, Kovalev. But he went back to fighting mediocre fights again. And the other one is Tundi's an absolute bellend, chats shit, and he needs to fucking ditch Tundi. He needs to throw him in a bush and fucking walk on. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I saw a fight. What was it last weekend?
A bit quiet, Ty.
Can you hear me?
That's better. Yeah.
I said I saw the fight last weekend. I was pretty surprised that I've never seen Joe Smith hurt like that, man. I've probably seen him. I'll be honest. First fight I saw him was versus Fanfare. That was in 2016. I've seen him overwhelmed, but not like all over the place like that. I was really shocked. I still scratch my head about that. But Turbiev can punch. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from the guy. The guy, he can punch, but like almost like something I've never seen before. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know, it can definitely hit, but like to this extent, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something doesn't compute.
Right,
But
you think he's on juice or something?
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, for that guy to get hurt like that, and I've never seen him hurt before, like that, just something doesn't add up.
He never recovered after the first knockdown. I don't think.
Yeah, that was good. That was nice and clean. No.
Yeah, because if you watched him, Mike, when he went back to the corner, he was staggering all over the show. But at the same time as well, Mike, I'm picking up on what you said about Anthony Yard fighting him on the inside. Joe Smith Jr. did one of the most dumbest things ever. He went over and tried to trade with him.
In the inside.
Yeah, and got blew away. But
his arms are so long. Like, he's got Beterbiev arms look pretty short, like for his height. And they're very clubbing like.
Yeah.
And Joe Smith wings real wide. I mean, Johnson's was much more tight. When he dropped him, dude, that was a very good shot.
Yes,
very
it was.
good shot. That was really tight and close.
So let me say salute to Just K. Just K, salute to you, brother. Hope you're good out there. Thanks for coming through. Yeah. I don't know. I'll admit, Ty, I was very surprised myself. I was very surprised. I didn't expect him. Do you think that Beterbiev just fought because he's L-Dub, salute to you, Law. If you want to get on, you know you're welcome, Law. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Do you think that Beterbiev fought because Smith is, well, he's a dangerous fighter? Do you think that he just fought, as he's well known for starting very slow, do you think that he just thought, do you know what, I've got to get this guy out of here quick because he could be a threat later on down the line? Or do you think he just...
I don't know. I guess he wanted to see if the guy could take a big shot, which I was sure he would. I mean, listen, I watched a lot of Smith's fights. I'm telling you, I've never... You can ask L-Dub here. He's just talking about how they knew. Listen, anybody who saw Smith fight, they had never seen him hurt.
Well, seen him stop before.
Let's be real.
Yes, he has been stopped before.
He broke his jaw. I'm talking about out of it, discombobulated, no legs.
Well,
that's what I'm talking about. Nobody has seen that.
But Tyrone, that's
what I'm basing it off of. That was my opinion. It wasn't.
Well, Tyrone, that's what happens when you get caught with a clean shot.
Yeah, we can say that, but he got caught with several clean shots throughout his career.
Yeah,
he can punch. I'm not saying he can't, but people making out to be like he's a super warrior, fucking with this jet engines on his fists?
No,
Yeah.
I don't
Tyrone,
know.
that's why I said to this dude. I was like, how come y'all wasn't talking about Arthur like this like 3-4 fights ago?
Well, because they're using him as a weapon against Canelo. Let's cut it right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Let's
good
cut it right
point,
down
yeah.
the middle. I'm not even gonna sit here and pull punches. A lot of these guys don't really watch this muck. They start watching him now before the Brown fight. You know, some other people have watched him longer, just give it credit,
Yeah.
but the people who watched him after the Brown fight or a little bit before the Brown fight, they can't name 6 of his fights.
Facts, Ty.
They
Facts.
can't name when he's dropped. They can't even name who he got the title from.
Yeah.
They can't even name the fact that it was a vacant IBF. They don't know nothing about his career. What they do is they take guys like Benavidez, who I'm not a big fan of. I don't like his style, or Beterbiev.
Why you don't like the whole Benavidez, man?
L-Dub. No, L-Dub. We know you. No, L-Dub. You don't need excuse. You know this stuff, dude. L-Dub.
Oh, yeah, L-Dub's the
L-Dub's,
encyclopedia of
I
boxing.
mean, he knows what
L-Dub
you're
knows
a boxing
everything.
head. You know, I'm not talking about you, bro. You know you're boxing, but I'm talking about certain guys who just started talking about him.
You see what I mean? L-Dub's
Yeah,
straight on
Enrico
it. He
Foley.
knows his shit, man.
Yeah, but certain guys are weaponizing him to use him against Canelo, like they're doing with Benavidez.
Yes.
They're doing the same thing. They're weaponizing him. Why? Because they don't like Canelo, so they need to use a proxy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it looks like to beat Canelo, and Canelo's already been beat, but they still want him to lose again. I don't have anything. I don't have nothing, dude. I just watch the sport, dude. I'm trying to take my emotion out of it. But.
Do you know what, Ty? Right, this is the thing about boxing. One thing I've always noticed about boxing, that especially like, well, I've just noticed it. Especially now we've got social media.
Mm-hmm.
The fans just jump ship all the time. All the time.
And
it's
even
like,
worse, the decafs.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The decafs go with whichever way the wind blows.
Bang on.
They don't have
bang on, Ty.
They don't have a certain guy. And if they do, they don't know much about him. They just want to be part of the winning team.
Yes. And you know, just one sec, Matt, before you chime on, bro. And you know how I've been studying that over the last few years, that Ty, because I'm on a lot of boxing web pages on Facebook, and I've read endless comments. One minute, Canelo's immortal. As soon as he lost to Bivol, now when Canelo's making statements, half of the people what were saying a few months back that this guy's immortal are all now laughing at him. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with Beterbiev now. Like you just said, half of the people couldn't even name the fighters he's fought. But because all of a sudden now Beterbiev's catching belts and stuff like that, now everyone's on his nuts. Z, salute to you, bro. Go on, Mike. My bad, bro.
You know, like I said a long time ago. But I'm gonna start off with this. You know, that goes into, you know, any other sport. You know, you got bandwagoners. They sign a bandwagoner transferable slip, and they switch sides real quick. Same thing happened to Anthony Joshua. Same thing happened with Deontay Wilder. The same thing happened with a lot of people. It's like when soon as their favorite hero, Superman, gets his ass whooped, they want to go with Omni-Man or something like that. You know, the next best thing. And then you have these cats out here that have channels that know now well they gotta feed the beast, and they need some money and some more clicks and stuff like that. So they follow the wave, you know, and then you got the propaganda from these media outlets, these social media outlets that run people's social media accounts and stuff like that, as far as public relations, publicity, getting their brand spread throughout the universe and stuff like that. They help spread a lot of the bullshit. But everybody out there, it seems like there's a significant amount of boxing fans that just want to be a part of something. They want to be day oneers. They want to be part of the winning. They want to be. They want to say, "Yeah, I told you so," and be a know-it-all all the time. You know what I'm saying? And can't never be wrong. And that's just the beach. And you know, some of the stuff that I said a long time ago. When you can see how, especially Edward Hearn is always out there in the media. There's a reason why he's in there, and he had never, and that's the reason why he never really questions. He never really rebuttals the real question that was asked to him. He just tell you a joke, or he has seen. So you will forget about what really was asked of him, to where he can lessen the blow and just trick fans into believing him and to believing what they want them to do. It's like the news. The news telling you their side of the story the way they want it to be known. And that's what these cats do. And you know, to me, the only thing with better me that and Canelo that I don't understand is that as soon as he lost, he's still, well, he's still doing X amount of pay-per-views. He's still getting paid this. He's still getting paid that. This is the third. The WBC president. Oh, he's still number one, and this is the third. He's still got X amount of belts. We're not taking those belts away from him. And it's like, you know, you know, what does it look like your favorite? What does it look like when your favorite fighter get his ass whooped and refuses to get the guy a rematch?
Yeah. Mike, that's a problem, bro. Me personally, right, Mike? I don't know if you know, but I know Tyrone knows. Ever since I've known Tyrone and Al Falpere will back me up on this. They know that I've liked Arthur Peterviev for a long time. Am I lying? Ty?
No, we talked about him versus Gosdick.
No? Yeah, exactly. It was only me and you way back, a couple of 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Excuse me. It was only me and you who picked that he was going to beat Volstick, wasn't he? Everyone else was
people were making it 50-50, but I said it was clear. But in the fight, it was 50-50, honestly. So they were a little bit right.
I don't think he beats Bivol. I don't think
so either. No.
Yeah, I know.
Who?
Peterviev. I don't think
he beat Bivol. Oh, Peterviev beat Bivol?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think Peterviev beats Bivol. And I'll tell you the reason why. I don't think he beats Bivol because I think Bivol's ring craftsmanship, the way how he moves around the ring, if you watch the Canelo fight, I mean, I can only go off this because I've not watched a lot of Bivol's fights, and I'll openly put my hands up and admit I thought Bivol was I thought he was trash. I'd seen clips of him and I'd never paid attention to him. The clips what I'd seen, I thought he's nothing special. But then the day of the fight with Canelo, I thought to myself, do you know what? I got up in the morning, I thought, right, I'm going to watch some of his fights. And I was amazed at how technically skillful and his boxing IQ of a good fighter the guy is. And what I like about Bivol is when fighters put pressure on him, he knows how to, like, if they try to back him up in the corner, he can just go backwards very easy. He's good at boxing on the back foot. And then as soon as his back touches the ropes or he knows he's going in towards the corner, he can flip out of it very easy. Now, I know that's nothing amazing, but there's a lot of fighters that when they get put on up against the ropes, they can't get off it. It's like they're super glued to the ropes and end up taking a beating or taking punches what they don't need to. And I love the way how he can jump in, throw a combination, and jump back out as well. Like Canelo tried, if you watch the fight, the amount of times that Canelo backed him up, and he wasn't dog walking Canelo where he wanted, but what he was doing was not letting Canelo walk him where he wanted him. Just let me read this comment quickly. Z1000's put, Bivol should leave Matchroom and sign with Top Rank. Well, who's Peterviev with? He's with Top Rank, isn't he?
Yeah, Bivol. Yeah, both of those guys are in good places. So Bivol and Peterviev, they're pretty much in good places. They don't have to sign. They're pretty good. My whole thing is, you know, Canelo made that. I'm not saying that Canelo didn't beat himself in that fight because the outcome probably could have still been the same. But Canelo damn for sure didn't let his hands go.
He was Mike. His hands go.
Breaking up, or I'm breaking up. Somebody is.
It's probably me.
Laws?
You hear me?
Yeah.
All week. Yeah, go on. Ty, what do you think?
Breaking up again, Laws.
Who do I think? I think Bivol will beat Beterbiev. Just is a mover. He gets up, get going. Yeah, the Canelo fight. Yeah, I just think he was very he got on his feet. He just I don't think he was there for Canelo to start. I mean, I think Canelo thought he was another big lumbering guy, like who was just gonna shell up, and all he had to do was hit him in the arms, hit him in the shoulder, hit him, in his back, and then he'll cruise to a decision. But it didn't go that way. So
yes. Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, but you're still breaking up.
Yeah.
You might need to jump in and jump out.
Well, I think Laws was trying to ask me that who I think will win. I just don't know in that fight because they both got some little footwork on them. They both just doesn't stay stationary in the fight. I think it's going to be off of whoever lands the most significant punches first. Because as soon as one of those guys get hurt, then we're going to see who can. We all would say that you get hurt with Beterbiev, he's going to jump on you. But we've seen some of the action with Canelo when it appeared that Canelo was almost on his way of receiving some hellacious punches that Bivol kind of let off the gas, like he didn't want to get, lose a match against a lucky ass shot, and I just don't know, man. I think it's going to be I think if that fight happens, I think it'll be a very good fight. I think it'll be a very positive fight for boxing. I think somebody's probably going to get knocked out, man, in that one.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
Oh yes, most definitely. But now we're gonna have to wait a little bit because they're talking about maybe
interim fights.
Because they saying that which is kind of funny, but I'm pretty sure Bill will fight Canelo anyways, but he don't have to because the way the rematch clause works. But they're already talking about after this Triple G fight with Canelo that they're gonna go in and fight.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
It just froze again.
Yeah, I think his computer is updating on his ass. I had to clean the lid to the trash can, man. That shit started looking kind of weird. People just throwing shit in there instead of opening it up and getting food all over the lid. But yeah, man, let's see what happens. Yeah. Wonder what laws want to talk about next. Over there looking like fucking Suge Knight and shit in his chair. Mm-hmm.
Fucking things updated.
Hey, Tyrone, didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that, Tyrone? This shit was updating.
Yeah, you did. You said that.
You gotta turn that motherfucker on and check them updates before he start these live streams, man. He take that damn. They taking all the resources out of that damn computer.
This is the way
Look
you
at his
got
lip.
mad at it.
I'm surprised he didn't slap that damn laptop across the room. Damn, Laws. Yeah, man, but I caught the Big Baby Miller fight, man.
I saw bits and pieces of it. I heard about the result.
I think I came in a little bit late, so I started maybe the third round.
Yeah, I mean,
He didn't look like he wanted to be there.
yeah, especially at that weight, it's like kind of being at the pool, but you know you gained weight all summer or all winter.
Yeah, everybody looking at you.
Yeah, but you think everyone's looking at you. That's how he looked like.
Yeah, yeah. He did his thing, man. But it's like he literally just coasted. Like, you know, I don't think he. There's only one time that I saw in that fight, I believe, that he really turned it up a half notch and threw maybe like 10, 15 punches. But other than that, it was pity papping the jab and throwing the uppercut here, throwing the right here. Basically, throwing significant punches, effective punches. That's it. Like every now and again. But it didn't even appear that he was even trying to knock the dude out. You can even hear his corner yelled out. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get this man up out of here. Get him the fuck up out of here." So, you know, I don't think it just kind of seemed like he was just going through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to stay busy and go to a decision. He wasn't trying to knock that dude out. And I'm surprised they gave him the decision.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought it was Matias Ariel Vidando, but I think that guy's retired. But this is I know this guy, this Bracamonte, who they bring in for a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said they brought him in for what is it? Huey Fury one time. I think they said.
Yeah, and AJ. Let me search him up. There he is. I recognize him.
Yeah, he's just a big dude, man. He's a sucker to get hit, you know, and they knew it.
Yeah,
you know, they probably was like, okay, we got a guy. He got a guy. That fight Jarrell was supposed to fight, and in the States that didn't work out. I think it was supposed to be on Triller or something like that. That didn't work out. So this fight ended up happening. I think that, you know, they said, well, what better thing to do? Come on down here and do your community service. You know what I'm saying? Bracamonte get a little couple dollars in his pocket, and you know, see you next Saturday. See you on Saturday in a few months, and that's exactly what it looked like. Community fucking service. Yeah, I ain't never opened that shit.
It's
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Fucking hell, man. Tell you.
He goes, fucking things updating.
I thought you had smacked the damn computer out.
Tell you what, mate. This fucking thing's just nearly gone straight out of this top fucking window. Fucking piece of shit.
Long as I told your ass though. I told you got it.
I don't know how fucking, mate. I ain't computerized. You know that. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got a fucking Samsung. You know what? Next time I go live, I'm going to use my fucking tablet. I've got the new
That probably
Samsung
would have been
Galaxy
better.
S8. I wouldn't have this problem with this Fucking bag of shit. Tell you what,
No, I'm saying,
Microsoft
just,
are fucking wank.
nah, just go to the update. As soon as you get on the computer, go to the update
Fucking
center, check for the
irritating. Not
update.
updating all the time whilst you're using your computer.
Turn them
Fuck off
off.
here. I don't know how you do it, mate.
You go on YouTube, it'll show you.
Tell you what, it'll show me. I'll put my fucking foot through the bastard fucking thing. Fucking piece of fucking shite. Anyway,
Damn.
right, I don't know where we was up to because I was enjoying myself and then I just froze like a fucking god knows what.
You sound like Frank Warren right now, looking for his money from Don
Yeah.
King.
Anyway, yeah, I can come to that. I've got a few things what I'll get through, but no, fucking head's gone. Can't be arsed with it now. Right. So just to round up, Anthony Yard and Dimitri Bevel, Anthony Yard and Artur Peterviev. Do you think Yard's got a chance at all, or do you think he's just going to get whitewashed like?
I think Yard wins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I don't.
I think it's going to be a good scrap though, Ty.
I hope so, but I don't. I'm looking at the data, and it just does not show a Yard win right now, unless Beterbiev gets old overnight, which I'm still waiting for, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah. Yard will. Hey, up he's here, the main man, London G. Salute to you, bros. But Yard will get hurt bad, bro. Yeah, he probably will, London G. But I think he's. I've got to take my hat off to the guy because, like I say, London G's from over here, so we all know it's like 1 minute you're shopping at Aldi and then next minute you're shopping at Waitrose. So it's a complete different ball game. But I have to take my hat off to the young fella.
Buying steaks at the 99-cent store.
Yeah, it's exactly, Mike. Or shopping at Walmart and then shopping at, I don't know, whatever, the plaza.
Well,
Go on.
Well, Anthony Yard, he gotta be real with himself. You know what I'm saying, and know that there's this Arthur guy. He poses a major threat in the inside, and he knows how to use them damn feet of his. You know what I'm saying, and he can't get caught sitting still, letting this guy throw punches in the inside. He got to get up out of there, and use his distance as an advantage, and not let this guy get off like that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Canelo and Bivol. Bivol knew ain't got no business sitting over here in front of this dude all damn day. I'm not gonna sit up over here and let him set up. Every time he think he about to set up, anytime he think that I'm about to give him a break, I mean, you can see it. Canelo think that he's gonna get a little break, and he gets bing bing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wake the fuck up, So, and then the Kovalev fight, the gassing out shit, and all the antics with that. You know what I'm saying? Leading up to that shit, and then the whole we didn't spar, and which I think was a lie. I think he was trying to just pump himself up with a little lie, but still doesn't sit right with people. If he gasses out in this fight, he's fucking done. He's not gonna end up like he ain't gonna get done like Kovalev did him. His eyes is gonna roll in the back of his motherfucking head.
Yeah, I think, Mike. I think Bivol beats him though. I do. I think Bivol beats Beterbiev. But anyway, let's roll on to something else because I've got a load of shit what I want to get through. Do I look funny to you on screen because I'm on me tablet?
You always look funny, Law.
No, I mean it's all blurred and shit.
Nah, we good. I mean, on my end, it's not.
You look clear to me.
All right. So okay, right. Let's talk about these two then. Let's talk about Catterall and quickly just because I need to fly through because I've got a big list of shit what I need to get through. Let's talk about Catterall and Josh Taylor then. these two have been going at each other, as you know, like fucking two bulls in a china shop just of lately. But over Twitter, I don't know if you've been following it, but I have. They've been constantly fucking giving each other shit. Anyway, Josh Taylor's come out now and saying that he's staying at 140. Staying at 140 only because he wants to fight Jack Catterall and shut him the fuck up, which I think that's bollocks because if he does do, then fair play. Why is he fighting this Zia what's he called? Zia Petter? Just let me read this comment. London G's put can't stand Taylor, mate. He talks a lot of shit to be it's looking that way, London G. Who do you think wins if do you think they'll fight again, Mike? And do you think Catterall will win, or do you think you?
I think Catterall's gonna get in his ass again, and like you said, he's a fucking liar. That ain't the reason why he's fighting that guy again. Because if that was the case, this shit would have happened a long time ago. And like I said, a lot of these fighters got to keep. Sometimes they just got to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I do all the time. I got a football game this Saturday. Had one last Saturday. I keep it real with motherfuckers with piss poor performance. I won't say it in Front Street and all that stuff, but he knew he lost that fucking fight.
Yeah.
His mama knew. His daddy knew. His cousins knew. His brothers knew. His nieces, nephews, his great-great-grandmammy. Hell, the queen fucking knew you lost that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody knew you lost the fight. And it's like one of those things. If you have a major asterisk on your whole career. When you retire, you will have a whole major asterisk on your career.
Yes. And
you know,
the thing is, Mike, as well, what sort of pissed me off, I had a lot of respect for Josh Taylor. I think he's a good fighter, a great fighter. In fact, very proud of what he did to go over to everyone's backyard. Not everyone's backyard, but he went over to a few people's backyards and beat them. But what pissed me off, Mike, is why has it taken so long for him to now say that he's going to fight Jack Catterall once he's had this mandatory fight? Why didn't he just fight Jack straight away? Because now he's already been stripped of the WBA. So
somebody put this
rightfully so. All four belts are there. All four belts should have been Jack's, or at least he should have had the second chance to fight for all four belts. You know what I mean? So that's pissed me off a bit about him. But
somebody put the squeeze to him. That's the only thing I can say. Somebody took his wrist and bent that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. Because he ain't got to. He could move up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about him. It ain't about the dude running his motherfucking mouth because he has the right to do so. When shit happens like that, you have the right to say whatever the fuck you want to. So I think Josh Taylor just needs to. A lot of these fighters need to understand is that what happened to Jack, that can happen to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if a lot of these fighters ain't worried about what happened to Jack and ain't trying to help Jack out, when it happens to you, don't complain.
Yes. Good point, Michael. Tyrone, quickly before we move on to the next subject.
Yeah, I thought he should have moved up. I mean, it was basically. I think what happened was they saw that when he saw that Crawford said, fuck Top Rank and got out of there, his Crawford fight angle went up in smoke.
Yes.
So, and he's not going to move to PBC. So there's really no point for him to go to 147. Who is at 147? That's viable and not asking for big money on the Top Rank side. Nobody.
Yeah. And do you know what, Ty? Do you know what also makes me think about this? Because he keeps saying that he had a poor performance and it wasn't. Before the fight, he said he was. If you watch the gloves are off and all stuff like that, the build up to the fight, he said, Jack Catterall during the gloves are off said to him, I should have fought you years ago or a year ago. And he says, yeah, but I was injured. I had a flipping elbow injury, you flipping clown. And he says, that's why I didn't duck you. He said, I had an injury and I took time off to let it heal. And now you're getting the best Josh Taylor. And then straight after the fight, he said that he wasn't the best Josh Taylor. He wasn't feeling. I don't know if he said he wasn't feeling good, but what he was basically saying is he didn't have the best performance of what he should have done, and he was struggling to make the weight. So it's sort of like London G saying he's contradicting himself and telling lies. Just admit you got beat. I mean, I don't blame Josh Taylor because at the end of the day, he didn't score the scorecards. But what I don't like is the bravado what came after that, all the shit on social media and all the excuses. London G's put facts, mate. You nailed it. Yeah, well, that's how I see it. If he does fight, I hope he beats this Zapata or whatever he's called, and then I hope he does fight Jack, and Jack gets.
Well, Zapata, he's no walk in the park either. He's an out and out guy. They fight very similar as well. He's another southpaw, and he
Yeah,
punches harder than Catterall. So
yeah, and that's where I was gonna say, Ty, because I went off fucking shit there. I think he realised after that performance because he kept saying that he wanted to fight Terence Crawford, and I think I tell you what I truthfully think just quickly. I think he looked straight past Jack Catterall. Thought I'm undisputed, you're nothing. I'll steamroll you like I did Ramirez and the rest of them. Even though you can argue if he did beat Prograis, great fight by the way. But what I'm trying to say is I think he's because he would do as a fighter. Your confidence, you're picking up belts. Your confidence is going to go through the roof. You're undisputed. I think he looked straight past Catterall and thought, "You're nothing. I'll swipe you out of the way, and then I won't fight Terence Crawford." Because he kept saying he wanted to fight Crawford. I wanted to fight Crawford, and then he underestimated Jack Catterall. I think he was in perfect condition, all ready, bells and whistles, all ready to go for the fight. And he realised that Catterall's a good fighter. And then I think he's thought, hang on a minute, I'm not moving up to 147 because there's killers up there. And I think he's thought after that performance, if he's going to fight Terence Crawford like that, he's getting knocked out very, very, very soon. That's what I think happened with him. And now he's made the excuse to stay at 140 now, saying that, oh, well, I'll just fight Jack to shut everyone up. Just let me read it. It's not for undisputed. They dropped the. Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm chatting shit, but I know undisputed's gone now. I know that he got stripped of the title, didn't he? But he said he didn't. He said he vacated it. But yeah, go on, and I'll move on to the next subject.
we can move on to the next subject.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, quickly, he ain't beating none of them. In my eyes, he doesn't beat Terence Crawford. No, hell no. He doesn't beat Errol Spence Jr. I don't even know if he beats Keith Thurman. I think Thurman would give him a fucking damn good run for his money, if not beat him. Anyway, right, next subject. Quickly, I was looking at these. This is Ring Magazine's top 10 pound for pound what they did. Was it yesterday or today? Now, me personally, why is everyone putting this a new way as pound for pound the best? Why is Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. not up there? And Jamal Charlo? I know
I don't mind if Jamal Charlo is in the gutter.
No, I know that. You hate Charlos, I know that. But what I'm saying is, don't you think I think Crawford is definitely pound for pound, or even Usyk.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Inoue at one. I definitely have Inoue in there, but I remember me and L-Dub talking about this. I think he's limited to like 130. These smaller guys, there's not going to be another Pacquiao.
Yeah. Why is Vasily Lomachenko still there?
No,
That's what I've been asking myself.
no.
Why is don't get me wrong, Lomachenko's a fantastic fighter, but why is Lomachenko still there? He hasn't even got a belt.
Because of accolades.
Hmm.
Because that's what they're looking at. Is like sometimes you can like literally look at it and they'll go by accolades, and then sometimes when you look at it, they don't go by accolades. They go by records, or they go by how many knockouts, or they go by if these two guys were to be in the same weight class, who would win. But they're all votes, from writers and boxers. And I don't even think the boxers, the past boxers are that's on the board are considered. Well, that's ESPN. So you talking about ring? Okay. So, the way I put it is, I don't put heavyweights on my pound for pound list.
No, me neither, Mike. Me
And
neither.
I think there is a criteria to
I would, but they have to actually be good. These heavyweights aren't good, so they can't be anywhere near a pound for pound list. Except
Okay,
Usyk,
I
that's
can
because
dig
he
that.
came up from cruiserweight.
I can dig that. I can dig that. But have anyway number one. Then you have to ask yourself, him versus all the guys that's below him, if they were in the same weight class as him, who would win? So
Thing is, though, Mike, what's his best win? A washed up Donaire.
that's what they say.
On paper, yes.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
And Walter's knocked Donaire out years ago.
That's what they say. And that's just how they do it. And go back to what Tyrone said earlier. That's it. I think it's just marketing. That's the only thing I think it is. I think it's just a marketing ploy. I don't think it should be necessarily always taken seriously, because anyway doesn't have a market over here, and they know having the Japanese having it, all that money he get up over there in Japan, selling out and all that stuff. But just think about it. As far as Filipinos and Japanese, Chinese, and stuff like that, how many do we have in the game that's a champion?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put it in these terms for Laws. Laws, he's the guy Jamie McDonald went over to fight. On a Tuesday, he was 10.5 stone and had to come down to 118 that Friday.
Yeah, I remember the fight. I watched the fight.
Yeah, it was that
he got knocked
guy.
out. Yeah, I remember watching it. And I like Jamie McDonald. I thought he was a good fighter.
I mean,
just let me read this comment quickly.
He was super weight drained.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course he was. Yeah.
His head like a skull.
Yeah. Even Porky always goes on about that. London G's put Crawford 1, Usyk 2, Canelo 3, Inoue 4, Spence 5, my list, but everyone has their own. Yeah, well, it's fucking better than that. I mean, am I being hard by saying this? Right. Am I hard by saying this? Why is Dmitry Bivol higher than Arthur Beterbiev? Is it because? Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. But who's done the harder work? It's obviously Beterbiev, because he's captured 3 titles in his own division, and he's fought people in his all champions. Canelo's not a 175 fighter, as we've just seen, but they're going off Canelo being there because of what he did in the super middleweights. But if you put it into content, I think that Arthur Beterbiev has done a way harder thing than what Canelo's done in the super middleweight. He was the best super middleweight, Caleb Plant. And I don't know. Just let me read these quick comments. Scrapbook, salute to you, brother. Oh, good, nice one, Scrap. Salute to you, bro. Yeah, good out there. London G's put Crawford never been in a close fight. That's why he's a different breed. Scrapbook, salute to Dub. I don't know. What do you lads think? And I'll move on to the next subject.
You gonna go Tyrone first?
I think Crawford should be number one. Me, definitely.
Uh, the NOA stuff, I think they're just trying to get more marketing behind him. He is a talented fighter for sure. The smaller weight classes isn't everybody's cup of tea. I'm interested to see how far up he goes. I don't think it's too far weight wise. I think I'd be surprised if he gets to 130 and does well.
Yes, me too.
Because he's so small. So it all depends. But for his weight class and he's beating these guys down there, I think that's what they want to give him. Similar to Jamel Charlo, but I actually like Inoue's skill set better than I like Jamel Charlo's skill set. But that's no surprise that I would say something like that. But
Charlo hates it. You Charlo hates it.
I don't have a problem with Big Jamal. I don't have a problem with Big Jamal. I don't mind Big Jamal, even though everybody gives him crap. But the thing with that is people don't look at it. I explained this to Mike. Jamal has a made situation at 154. I mean, it's an easy division. There's not a lot of money at play, and they're all on the same side of you. If I had to fight Rosario for 2 extra belts, I'd be on that treadmill right now. That's a gimme fight. I'd do it for free. Because what will come
I just don't like his mouth.
Yeah, Jamal runs his fucking mouth. He fucking he almost lost to Tony Harrison, dude. He almost lost to Tony Harrison. That was bullshit.
Exactly.
And I told you about it. You were celebrating. You were like, yeah, he knocked him out. I was like, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Hold up, Tyrone. I'm gonna tell you why.
The older one.
I figured he was gonna win, but I had people in my house that know Tony Harrison.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And it was and I was like, as soon as he started hitting them ropes and that head started looking like a Pez, I was high. I was laughing all in their face, like literally, I was in their face pointing and shit, doing this in their forehead, jumping around the house, yelling, "Give me my motherfucking money."
Oh, okay. That's a different story. Yeah, I get why you had to do that. London G, let me guess. Your reasoning probably is, no knock against you, but this is a typical that I get. Oh, Jamal is not as dedicated and he's not chasing greatness like his brother. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Jamal's fighting great guys right now. I mean, his best win is Derevyanchenko, but Derevyanchenko will beat all those guys Jamal beat, to be honest. Yeah. But I'll say it like this. The reason Jamel is succeeding is not because of the situation more than it is to do with his skill. If it was Jamal at 154, he wouldn't have lost. Let's be honest. How is Jamel pound for pound? We always say Jamel can beat everybody else in his weight class. But whenever we say let's do Jamel, and I don't want to see it, but when people ever compare the two, if those two were to fight, the biggest Jamel fan, yeah, I like Jamel. Jamal's too big. Jamal would beat him. But aren't you calling Jamal above? Let's be right. Jamal is the better fighter. He just hasn't proved it yet. Jamal has a situation at 54.
Mike. Stormy's here.
Scrapbook and Stormy, what's up, man?
Already gave the police you niggas location, so enjoy the last minutes of your stream. If you want to get on, Stormy, you know you're welcome anytime. Well, me personally, I've sort of gone off. I don't know if you can call him Big Charlo. I've sort of gone off him a bit because he talked shit about Benavidez, and then he
doesn't want to fight Benavidez. I don't want to fight Benavidez either. I don't want to move with the one.
He's got Ortiz or Boots. I think Ortiz.
No. But the Benavidez fight will be a good fight. It will be a good fight.
They're all waiting for the Canelo money, aren't they? They're all waiting.
Just let me read this comment quick. London G's put, who you got, guys, Ortiz or Boots Annie's? Me personally, I really, really like Virgil Ortiz. I think he's a great fighter. I've not seen enough of Boots Annis to really make a mark on him. But maybe you two can tell me better because obviously you live over there. But I've seen a lot. I won't say a lot, but I've seen at least 6 or 7 Ortiz fights.
Ortiz definitely has the better resume, but I would pick Mr. Ennis.
You said, but I would pick Mr. Ennis. He didn't say just the way you said it, Mr. Ennis.
I don't
Nah,
like
that's
it, to be honest, dude. I mean, this is irrelevant, but this shit is corny. Like we calling him Boots,
Yeah, we're just joking, aren't we?
like why can't we just? These are weird 8-year-old nicknames that their mom called them back then, and they're bringing it to when they're in their mid-20s. Let's stop it. It's childish.
You're salty. You're salty.
It's childish. Other names. Unless it's
right. It's all good.
They got while they were boxing. I just Boost.
It's all good.
9-year-old name.
No, I feel what you're saying, Tyrone. Is like I'm just giving you shit, but I don't know, man. With that fight, you know, I think the fight is a healthy fight for both of them, because they finally both get to fight somebody that's supposed to be able to bring it, you know.
Yes.
But other than that, I just don't know. You know, Boots got some nice footwork. He has the ability to get people out of there. Hands are nice and fast. He thinks with his head a lot. He moves that bad boy as well. He's a very quick guy overall.
Yes.
But sometimes, you know, as the level of competition goes up and you start to fight different people with different styles and stuff like that, then you start to see who's really about it and who's not, you know. And I think this one right here is gonna say a lot about both fighters, because win or lose, you know, these two gentlemen, they still have the time to make up for that. They still have time to get their shit together and become a better fighter. So, you know, but if I was a betting man, if I looked at the odds, whatever the bookies is doing, because maybe they know something I don't know, maybe they're playing the spread, I don't know, I would go with what they're doing.
Yeah, good point, Mike. I just want to talk about this quickly because before we switch subject, London G's put Ortiz fought Machine. Yes, he did. Who gave Crawford a hard night? Yes, he did. And destroyed David Avavisian.
Yeah, I saw that fight.
Yeah, I read something about that fight, the David Avavisian fight, and apparently he was going. I mean, I'm not using this as an excuse, but I'm just saying what I read about it. Apparently, he was going through a shitload of family troubles halfway through his training camp, and he wasn't focused on it, and he had some kind of problem with his weight or something. But I think Avavisian's a different type of fighter now. I think he's got better since he got beat. But yeah, I agree with what Ty says. I think Ortiz has got the better resume, definitely. This is why I said if Conor Benn fights Green Machine or Green Beans, whatever he's bloody called, he'd knock Conor Benn out. Him definitely, he'd knock Conor Benn out. And I'm telling you now, he would. You watch the Conor Benn and the guy who he dug up from the graveyard, Chris Algieri
from South Africa. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, before him and him as well.
Yeah,
he was getting tagged in that fight, and then he just, all right, I'll roll over because I'm a bin man. Got to go work tomorrow.
What they do is they might get hit to the body or something. They get grazed. So what they do is they throw their arms up, they collapse down, then they make a face and they shake their head. They look to their corner, they shake their head, and then they have the ref come in and hug them and then call it off. And then they go back across the ring to the other guy, and then they start making out and saying how much they love them as a person and thank you for stopping me and thank you for knocking me out so I can go home early.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, when I did that video on Chris Van Bin, man, I got criticised. Some guy sent me a message, but YouTube flipping, you know what YouTube are like my channel, they're deleting people's comments before they've even read them. I
Yeah,
can see half the comment when I click on it, it's not
it's
there.
gone.
But some guy was saying to me, "Oh no, how dare you call him Chris Van Bin, man? He went so many rounds with Errol Spence. He did this." I said, "Listen, mate. Well, what I'm reading here now on his resume, he's been inactive for 3 years." And he went, "Yeah, but his dad died." I said,
Yeah,
"His dad didn't die 3 years ago. His dad died. Was it last year or something?" I
2 years
said,
ago, I think, or
I
something.
said, "He's been inactive. He's been inactive. He's not had a fight with anyone."
No.
And he's basically Eddie's flogged someone to go and dig him up,
Yeah,
and he brought him in. He
yeah.
went, "No, he'll do 12 rounds with him." I said, "Shut up, Willie L. What did he go 2 rounds
He gave it a little bit of a go in
in the
round
first
one,
round? Yeah,
and then round two, he decided it was time to just stay
roll
put.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Let's get to the next subject because I'm not going to be on. Well, I am another half an hour at least, but anyway, um, fucking hell, where is he? Here he is. Oh, Dusty. Oh, big fat Dusty Miller.
yeah. Well, I just told while you were frozen, I
That's
told
disgusting, man.
it looks pretty bad. I said it looks kind of like. Well, Mike said it looks like he didn't want to be there. I said, yeah, it kind of looks like you know, you didn't do your summer shredding, you put on all this weight over the winter and then you go to the pool in the summer and you think everyone's looking at you.
Yeah,
It was kind of like that, I had all this extra weight he wasn't proud of. He's just all kind of shelled up. He just
that's disgusting. Now you know what?
yeah, it should be outlawed.
That's I read. I'll tell you what. Let's watch a little bit of it.
Arranca la sexta vuelta, no cago a las drogas. Primera pelea en el vivo de boxeo de primera. Día 1, jueves. Boxeador grande, Harry Miller en todos los sentidos. Ante Ariel Bracamonte, el argentino. A entender de Charito, el mejor pesado de nuestro país.
Si nos da el tiempo, veremos a Iván Dichko, boxeador kazajo, quien va a enfrentar al San Pedrino a Kevin Espíndola. Está pautado en esta cartelera también.
Bracamonte de negro, Miller de rojo y negro. Mirá que ascendente que metió de...
That's embarrassing.
I told you all. I told
Hey.
you. I watched it all from round 3 and up. I was watching it live, and like he was just going through the motions, man.
Oh, mate, yeah. I could have played more, but knowing YouTube, they'll probably hide my video. But yeah, it's just a shame. Just a little. Send him to the fucking hell. I don't even think he'd be good enough in WWE. That to me was disgusting. It was just too fat, out of shape bums fighting. Isn't it amazing, Mike, how now his pads have gone? Now I understand the guy will be ring rusty, but isn't it amazing how his pads are gone and
Like
see
Mike
the
said,
difference in
it definitely
performance?
affected him a lot. Yeah, a lot more than I've seen most fighters.
Yeah,
Well,
he
Laws,
looked half a shadow of his former self.
Laws, you have to understand. He probably weighed more than that. And
Yeah, he probably did.
354 pounds. It said he weighed.
I think he weighed more
24
than that.
stones.
Mike is right. He probably did way more than that, and he probably came down during camp. He may have been 370,
Yeah.
380, just
Yeah.
like Dakari Scott, who was like
embarrassing.
oh
Like you like 5'11" and you that weight, and you wonder why you ain't got no juice. And
What do you think? My bad, Mike. Go on. Sorry, mate.
No, it's cool. It's cool. But just watching the fight, he just took it easy. He never really, maybe once he put on a real gas, a real triumphant try. But I don't think he was trying to knock the guy out. I don't think he was trying to get him up out of there. he wasn't doing shit until he got up in camp, I believe. And we seen months ago where he was and stuff like that. But I don't think he really had a solid camp now, and I don't think he dieted. You know, when you know you a guy like that, when you go through trouble that he's had, I know and I understand that that's going to hit with your psyche and stuff like that. But he knew that eventually he was going to get his shot, and he knew eventually when he get his shot to come back, he couldn't afford to be looking sloppy and slow and stuff like that, because everybody's automatically going to think that you're going to be easy work. You've been out of the ring all that time, so that's one. And then you probably ain't been doing shit. That's another one. So, you know, he had to take some fight, because the last fight didn't happen for some odd reason with Triller. Now, it had nothing to do with PEDs, but you know, they went down to Argentina and stuff like that. I hope he's getting piss tested. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Mike, it's crazy to think that this guy had the golden opportunity to fight for the world heavyweight crowns. And it's mad to think now, when I actually remember speaking to Jordan about this. You remember George? I actually remember, here's the OG. Salute Stormy.
Yo, what's good?
Man, why you bring him on here?
Yeah, just quickly before I hand it over, I can remember talking to George about him, saying, do you know what? This guy's maybe got a good chance of beating Joshua, because he was a very come-forward fighter who threw a shitload of punches, had an engine like a Rolls Royce, and just kept going. But obviously, it was all peds, and now when you look at him, fucking hell, he looks like an old clamped-out fucking Morris Minor from the scrapyard.
Laws, he didn't even try in that fight. He didn't even try.
But did he have the energy to try, Michael?
Laws, let me tell you something.
Right.
Let me tell you something, Laws. I watched the fight. I literally watched the fight from round 3 and up.
Have you ever seen Miller that big, though, Mike? Come on,
Nobody has. His own mama ain't seen that shit. But what I'm saying is, I watched the fight from round 3 and all the way up. Even looking at him while he was in his corner. The dude wasn't tired. The dude was just there. He was just there. He was just like, yeah, I'm at work. I'm finally here. Let me make this look nice and pretty. Let's go to a decision. There was multiple times he could have got that guy out of there. He didn't even try, Laws. It didn't even look like he even got tired in the fight. He walking around. He throwing a lazy ass jab. He's sitting on the ropes throwing like 4, 5, 6 uppercuts in a row and landing, but didn't do shit.
Right. Go on, Stormy, over to you, bro.
How'd he fit on the plane?
Nigga, you don't. You don't fit on the plane. You got to be in the cargo. You got to be in the cargo hold. Strapped in.
Let you and Stormy and all you lot mask it off. How's he fit on the plane? Fucking hell.
Can the plane get off the ground with his ass aboard?
Yeah.
Damn. You know. By the way, you say you watched the fight. Did it go the distance?
Yep. And Big Baby Miller didn't even look phased when they said he was the winner. He was like, yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody.
That's a shame. It looked like the only thing that'll phase him is, you know, if they don't put some condiments on the table of the buffet, you know, that's the only thing that he'll be phased about.
Pretty much.
Because it really looked like where he came from. He went right from the buffet to the weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? And probably went right back to the buffet after the weigh-in. You understand?
Pretty much. And they kept him pretty much under wraps for the interviews. I think YTC is the only ones that did do the interview with him. I didn't see the video, but I read some of the transcript. And, you know, nobody's asking them no PED questions and stuff like that. They're keeping it pretty nice. Also, what I saw was a lot of news outlets, they calling it like it is, disgrace, PED boxer and this and the third. But like I put on Twitter, they need to keep the same energy with everybody else. You're going to bring up his past, start bringing up everybody else's past. And none of these news outlets brought up Tyson Fury's past. They ain't going to bring up Canelo's past. They ain't going to bring up all them Climbitero guys. They're not going to bring up that, and I think that's a shame to the sport. But at the end of the day, Big Baby Miller went down there and did his community service.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that he's the one that really has, you know, with the suspension and everything, he has actually been actively suspended, if that's a way to say it and define it. You know, he has had his punishment and everything. He couldn't make his living in the ring, where other people we've seen slap on the wrist, if not even less than that. It's just so unfortunate. But it would serve him better to take this ordeal and approach it from a different frame of mind. I would imagine he's had a rough go, because sometimes nobody can be more hard on you than your own. That's why if anyone was smart and they do conduct interviews with him or try to have some type of, you know, you take the opportunity out because he's available to start, you know, having him in for a sit down and discussion. Don't even talk about that kind of thing. Motivate the guy. Challenge him to say, hey, where do you want to go from now? Where do you see yourself a year from now? Where in the sport? Let's see you, come back. Because there are people who are really disappointed with how things turned out for you, but you had an opportunity that comes around sometimes once in a lifetime, and you blew that. But now you got an opportunity to come back for yourself, and it's time to put old things aside and do some things. You don't have the luxuries that others like Tyson Fury has had, where the PTB backs everything and anything he does, and also circumvent the rules and cut corners to allow certain things to happen so he can be in a position of success and leverage. So, there's a different way to handle him, and that's the way people should do it.
Oh, y'all don't get quiet now.
Yeah, everybody quiet. It's like I said something like that, and it's like everybody's like,
Yeah, I just don't like the biasness with it. You call out him, you drag him to the mud, but everybody else get a pass. Even including Dillian White. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested to see what he gonna look like next. Is he gonna be mid 300s? Is he gonna get down a little bit? Because his face even looks bloated, and that stuff that he was taking, I want to see if it did a toll on his body. I want to see if it did a toll on his stamina and stuff like that. Because you can see it with some fighters, like when they get older, they don't have no stamina because all that shit they was taking, and they was getting away with it. But then all of a sudden, you have a guy like Big Baby Miller. He was taking what, IPO? What was he taking? What was he taking again? That shit that rats getting cancer.
HGH. He took EPO for stamina. He had like 5 different substances.
Yeah.
And then he tried to make it out like, oh, my heart is bleeding right now. I let my team down. I messed up. How do you mess? I mean, how's that messing up? Like, you
that is messing up. Like,
no,
like
he's making it out. What I'm saying is, he's making it out like it was some small little mistake. Like, oh, I just messed up. Like, he was trying to blame other people for it. Like, he just.
I don't think that's really what he was trying to do. I think at the end of the day, like, he knew he disappointed a lot of people.
Exactly.
He knew that the state that Anthony Joshua in, it was in the bag. And then after the fact, you see what happened to him. His mom. He got to look at all these people in the eye. He got to come to work, look everybody in the eye, knowing he's about to get fired, knowing that people had spent millions of dollars to make that fight at Madison Square Garden, knowing that people put all that money that people had to help him spar and pick his bags up and all that stuff. a lot of money, and he fucked up. He knew now well at the end of the day, really to tell you the truth, wasn't shit he could say, but go face to face to the people that he harmed and apologize. You know, it's a very hard thing to sit there and be composed and not break down when apologizing in front of the whole world, and knowing your mama was one of them riding for you and believed in you, but you didn't. And then when you get caught, yeah, it sounds like he was making an excuse. Yeah, it sounded like he was trying to blame it on somebody else. But the only thing he was trying to do was just go through the motions, maybe lessen the blow. You know what I'm saying? And try to move on from it. But then the second time, he pops again. Like I told everybody else, he was gonna pop again. That shit ain't gonna leave your system like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he didn't have no money to get a lawyer at that time. He didn't have no money to do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's literally fucked. And people
and Mike, the biggest thing is he black. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't gonna be covered up for him like it's gonna be or has been for others that we have scrutinized in the sport. That's why I'm of the mindset of let's not beat the guy down. He has been beaten enough by what he's had to go through and face, but now it's time to show some type of encouragement and give motivation, because listen, he's already dealing with a stacked house against him. We're talking about people who actually lifted the heavyweight title from Deontay Wilder, who was the baddest man in the division. And there's no other way to say it than that. They lifted the title from him. It took a concerted effort of people in concert, as Drew Titan likes to say. Shout out to Drew Titan. Or as conspiracy, you know, because they couldn't do it in the ring, you know, on the natural up and up. And AJ was also a victim of those circumstances as well. So when you really look at it and you look at where the wheel has tilted, look at Canelo. Ever since he tested positive for what he tested positive for, they've done nothing but make changes for testing levels and giving provisions. They've even given, what do you call it, franchise entitlement and everything to ensure that he will still remain where they want him to be, whether he earns it as a place or rite of passage or not. Losing to Bivol and moving up in the pound for pound ratings on ESPN. How much more hypocrisy can you deal with?
Can I say these two words in between? They ain't gave him nothing but words of encouragement. They ain't gave Canelo nothing but words of encouragement when he popped, after he popped, and when he lost against Bivol.
That's why
he popped it up again.
Yeah, and that's why I said that's why we shouldn't beat Big Baby up like that. You know, we know he did wrong. We know he had a price and a penalty to pay, but now start challenging the man to be the best. He's lost a couple of years off of his career as a heavyweight, and a man that's in his 30s or whatever, that's not so good. So it's like there's other ways to attack this and ask for the best out of the guy and ask the best of himself. But we don't have to ride him into, like, I made jokes about his weight and everything, but I want to see him turn a corner and turn a corner in a positive sense. I don't want to beat the man up about what he went down for, because there are others who have gone through things far worse and they haven't gone down for it yet. We're still waiting for the other shoes to drop. There's a lot riding behind the scenes on a whole lot of people, and we may see justice yet, or at least the exposure of the ugliness. Everything that has been taking us up this point to be like inferred or speculative or something like that, real shit is about to hit the fire. You know what I mean? And it stinks. And everybody gonna get a whiff of the scent. I'm telling you, just keep your eyes open and your ears peeled. This dude, Tyson Fury, is at the top of the heap with that mess. And the people he's rubbed elbows with, all of this stuff, man, it's about to catch a blaze. Yeah.
That's a very good point, what you said about Canelo, because when he got done for that so-called eating that beef, he only got, was it a 3-month ban? And then and that basically is a training camp, isn't he? And next thing you know, he was back out fighting again. So basically, all what they did was just put him in a training camp for 3 months. And then didn't he go on to fight Rocky Bumfielding or someone like that?
Mm-hmm.
I can remember us talking about this a few
He didn't
years
even
ago.
need a tune-up.
Yeah, Mike, that's what I'm saying. I can remember us talking about this a few years ago. And he only got something like a 3-month ban. And we were saying, well, we all know Canelo's a gym rat. So all Canelo's going to do is just be in the gym for 3 months. And then next thing you know,
because out here they don't do people like UCAD, because UCAD to tell you, UCAD to be like, you can't be associated with nobody during your ban. That's how UCAD does it. Over here, you can still be in the gym and stuff, but not with UCAD. UCAD is like, you pop, you pop, you ain't being, you can't associate with nobody until your ban is lifted.
And not only that, he ain't the only one that popped in his camp. He had several people popping in the camp with him. So it's like nobody can see that this is a whole tainted ship here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about that stuff. I mean, we talk about it, but ESPN and The Zone and all these other freeloaders out there that want to have yeah, that's what they are. They're like leeches, man. They attach themselves and they're sucking on your blood. Huh?
Yeah.
And when that host withers out or dies off or whatever, they scoot on and scurry on over to another. That's what they do, man. Vultures.
Yeah.
But see, we're not that way. We're venomous people, man. We come out there. We come out there and we tell it like it is. A lot of people don't like to hear it and stuff like that. And, you get the biased folks and the prejudiced folks come out and they want to say stuff. And that's just agents of chaos trying to be distractions.
Yeah.
But, we have to steady the course, man.
What's that you got, Mike? Ribs?
Yeah, buddy.
Jam chop. Jam pack.
Yeah.
I'm about to get my swole on.
Man, Mike, when your camera froze for a second there, you look like Oliver McCall, man.
I probably am.
The atomic bull, man. He looked like.
So, did any of you watch the weigh-in, the press conference? Sorry, not the weigh-in.
I saw a bit.
A little bit of it, yeah.
What do you think about everyone going on about Joshua looked scared? Looked like he was.
I don't think he looked scared. I just think so. I just think that him and Usyk, they seem like they have some type of rapport, and he's just not trying to get caught up in trying to be so friendly all the time. And it's hard to do it when you have rapport with somebody and y'all kind of have like some type of friendship, not to talk and hang around and slap hands and stuff like that. And when somebody says something about him doing stuff like that, and you shouldn't be friendly with these cats and this and the third, I showed them a video of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was friends with a few of his opponents.
Yeah.
And a few of his opponents knew that he's just he was just running his mouth. He didn't mean nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it. They touching each other, they poking each other, they going at it, but nothing never gets physical. They always they at both sides always left with a smile on their face. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that I think maybe possibly has a mental issue, because remember the whole Navy SEAL psychologist was brought up when he was supposed to be fighting Big Baby Miller. Remember that? Oh, we had to bring in a psychologist to come talk to him. And like Stormy B Man said a long time ago, a lot of fighters used to have hypnotists and all kind of things come try to instill, some empowerment into each other. But it's a hard thing to do. It's like when you got to fight somebody and y'all got like some type of friendship outside of boxing. And Usyk is not when I say flamboyant, I don't mean gay. He's a flamboyant type of guy. You know what I'm saying? He's very charismatic and stuff like that. You can't help but to like the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Including fans. So I don't think he's trying to get involved. That's all.
Do you think? I think it's. I don't know. It's an hard one for me to think because I do remember certain channels saying that he was trying to pay Usyk step aside money, obviously for the Tyson Fury fight. But if you can remember, a few months before that came out, he was on about dropping the WBO belt, and he was saying that it was only because he was wanting to fight Tyson Fury. I don't think he's scared. Can't believe Joshua moved from Sky. Yeah, exactly. That's just following Eddie, though. That is London G. He's just following Eddie. That's all. But he should have stayed with Sky because Sky did make him. Do you think he beats Usyk the second time if he goes for it? Or do you think it's just going to be the same outcome? I think if he sticks it to him like he did in rounds, was it 7 and 8?
Yeah, the mid rounds.
I think he knocks him out, but if he's willing to let
this is the thing. This is the thing about that's going to come to fruition about Joshua facing Usyk in this second fight. All of the stare down and all of that stuff don't mean anything. Usyk is such a professional and such an experienced guy. He's gone between those ropes so many times. That stuff doesn't mean anything. Doesn't matter how big Joshua is, how what kind of muscles he's got on his body. All of that stuff doesn't mean anything. For Joshua, it's really the psychological issue for him because he's got so much riding on the fact that there's pressure for him to not only have his get back, but to show some type of improvement or new wrinkle, which is why that hire in Robert Garcia looks so strange. That all of that may not work out for him at all. At the end of the day, Usyk wins because he's a better fighter. I've said that Joshua is not that good for a long time.
I agree with that comment.
And that's Joshua's fault because they got him an angled opportunity. He was better than Charles Martin. So they lifted that IBF title off of Charles Martin and he became a titleist, not a champion, but a titleist. And the improvement stopped there. The marketing picked up double and triple time, but the teaching, the learning in the gym, the improvement from trainers, bringing more people in. He didn't have to get rid of the original trainer he had. He could have brought some people in to work with the man and maybe implement a more of a Western base for his instruction and direction. And remember, this is key to it all and very revealing. Lennox Lewis was trying to suggest to him that you may want to do some things if you want longevity in this sport. If you want to improve from where you are, you may want to consider stuff. And
yes, he did.
He immediately
he did, Stormy.
had a lash against Lennox, who is a Hall of Famer, okay? And called Lennox a clown.
Yes, he did.
Where that right there, you know what that tells me? That Joshua is no different from the guys over here in the U.S. that are roaming the streets, getting in trouble with the law and robbing people and doing stuff because they just ornery and don't want to listen to instruction or mentorship or anything. And it's a very short leash on life for people like that. Two places for you: the penitentiary or the graveyard. But one is destined. Okay? One is destined. It's just a matter of which one you meet first. And see, he hasn't learned that lesson. But you lose this fight to Usyk, where do you go from here?
Yeah. Well, do you know what, Stormy? You've hit the nail right on the head there, because he's just signed this big fucking deal with the Zone, hasn't he? Where he's got shares in them and stuff like that. If he, I mean, there'll always be fights for Joshua over here, like Dylan White, and Joseph Parker's now signed with Sky, but people don't want to see that. Maybe a Dylan White round 3, yeah. Joseph Parker, no. But if Joshua loses to Usyk the second time round, surely his market's gonna go down even more, because I've noticed since he did lose, since he lost to Ruiz, his market has never. I mean, he's always been a big seller, but his market wasn't what it was like when he beat Klitschko and when he beat Charlie Martin, and everyone was riding with him. And then
because
a lot of fans seem to have jumped off him.
Yeah, he had the illusion of being a big guy kicking ass, but that was just an illusion, because there's some other ass kickers out there too. And a lot of them he hasn't even faced yet. You understand?
Exactly.
Nobody expected Andy to do what he did, and Andy did it very well. And then when you see Usyk, another what you would consider undersized guy, because he's so much bigger than Usyk, he comes out there and hands him his dinner as well in a skillful manner. Okay, a skillful manner, and almost stopped him in the last round, where you have to say, well, how do you build upon that? Joshua cannot get better skills in just this short period of time between their last fight and now. He can't get better. He hasn't faced anyone else to work on anything. He hasn't gone in there and say, because when Lennox lost to Oliver McCall, one of the things Emmanuel Stewart did was rebuild his confidence and his boxing style by putting him in there with various type fighters who gave him different looks, but also who were not dangerous or too dangerous that he couldn't work on what Emmanuel was trying to instill. See, that's what these guys missed today.
Yeah.
And Eddie Hearn is like pushing him right back in there again. You got to get those belts back.
Yeah.
The belts ain't really going nowhere.
Yeah.
The belts are going to be with whoever has them right now for a while, even if you don't face the guy. Because basically there's nobody better than the guy who lifted the belts off of you. You know what I'm saying? So you go out there, you work your craft, you start fighting. He could have taken a rematch with White. He could have taken a rematch with Parker. He could have taken a fight against Chisora, who happens to be a good friend of his for whatever reason. I don't understand what that kind of stuff is. The guys don't want to fight their friends. But he could have fought that guy. He could have fought Hammer. He could have fought another number of guys to get in there and start working on some new wrinkles. But no, you're going to go right back in there against the guy who almost stopped you, but was whooping your ass for 11 rounds. So it's like, listen, go back and watch the fight for yourself, and you'll see certain things that Usyk was doing to him that just last week we saw Artur Beterbiev do to Joe Smith. Throwing his power punch over your jab to make you stop jabbing.
Throwing you over left, wasn't he?
Yeah, throwing his power punch over your jab to make you stop jabbing. That's why you couldn't outbox him, because you were afraid to let the punch go, because he's hitting you with the proper counter, because he's an experienced fighter who knows how to box. Your size doesn't mean a damn thing, because he was able to get in and out at his will. He gave you angles, side to side. You didn't know what to do. And then when he put punches together in combinations, which most heavyweights do not do today, you had trouble with that. You're accustomed to a guy loading up with a big shot trying to hit you, and then you could cover up and block that. But when a guy's running those sets off of you, you don't know. It's like it's confusing. That's because you haven't learned these things in the gym.
Yeah.
When AJ throws a power punch, there's nothing behind it. It's a single shot. An experienced fighter is waiting for you to do that. Because when he gets your timing down, he's coming right over when you get ready to think you're going to do it.
Well, that's how
He's making
Ruiz
you
did
pay
him,
for
wasn't he?
it.
Counter punching him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, remember, it's a sweet science. And you're talking about a man who doesn't have very much strength up here to begin with. All the fight has to do is start going in the wrong way for him, and he will check out mentally. When you check out mentally and the body follows the mind, what's going to happen? He will collapse.
Yeah. Just quickly, Stormy, do you know what I think part and parcel of AJ's downfall? Well, I wouldn't say downfall, but the reasoning to AJ losing as well is, well, several things what have always been on my mind about him. One is he's always basically done what Eddie Earns told him to do. Number two is he's ever since. If you watch the very beginning of AJ's career, when I know every fighter's fighting as many times as he can to climb up the ranks as quick as possible. But if you watch when he beat Charlie Martin and then he beat Klitschko, straight after Klitschko, he went into this era of heavyweights. Now what? Just want to fight once a year. And when you're a world champion, you can't be fighting once a year. And do you know what I mean? Even when he beat Ruiz the second time, it was a year before he fought Pulev. After he beat Pulev, it was nearly a year before he fought Povetkin. Not Povetkin, before he fought Usyk. And it's nearly a year after he fought Usyk the first time. So,
and check
3
this
fights
out.
in fucking 3
How about
years.
this? In all of that time, that span of time between these bouts, he ain't learning shit. He's not improving.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not getting better.
Well, yeah.
So when you say that and you bring a guy like Robert Garcia in, how in the hell is he supposed to be the miracle man and help you do these things that you haven't done to this point? It's pointless to have Robert Garcia there. The only thing you'll do is give Robert Garcia a bad grade as a coach for your performance. It ain't going to fall on you. It's going to fall on Robert Garcia because they're going to say, well, he didn't learn nothing from Robert Garcia. Well, who has really Robert Garcia guided to a point and got beyond something of difficulty? Remember Mike's performance against Martin? Remember that?
Yeah.
Robert couldn't help him in that fight, could he? And that guy, the Spaniard, Martin, was a damn good boxer. So where was the coaching at? Where was the coaching? You see what I'm saying? So I just pointed out one fight right there. One fight that he had a charge in difficulty, meaning his brother, and he couldn't bring him through that difficulty to the point of success. And the fight was there. But you know what? Mikey was unwilling to take risk and take a gamble and go for broke.
Yeah.
AJ is not going to take any risk or
He's got to, though, Storm. He's got to, man.
He's not.
Yeah. Russell, just quickly, just read these comments. Russell Newton, salute to you, bro. I hope you're good, Russ, up there in Scotland. Salute to you. It's been a long time, but you're still here. London G's put Robert Garcia hasn't got experience with heavyweights. That's a good point. Tyrone, Mike, how do you see this fight going?
I really don't have anything against AJ. I just think Usyk will probably win again. I'm trying to learn how to stop going against the gray man and save us all money. I thought that Wilder would win, but there's no way he's going to win with that
like
joke
me.
in his corner. What a disappointing result that was. That was devastating. That was career ending. But this one, I think it'll go 12 again, and I think AJ will lose again. And he's confused as well about what he wants to do, what he who he is.
That's a good point.
After Mike goes, I got a question for everybody on the panel.
Yeah. Go on, Mike. How do you see it going quickly, bro?
I think AJ is going to get this one, man. I think the problem with the whole buildup of who AJ was supposed to be and all that stuff was built up, to inflate his market. And I think that the fans, his promoter, manager, his PR, all these cats, they were all believing in his masterful boxing abilities, because he never was that guy until he tested that out against Andrew Ruiz. But we all know Andrew Ruiz was too busy at the candy shop eating all the Snicker bars. You know what I'm saying? Drinking all the beer.
Storm says eating tacos.
And I think that he finally realized that being yourself is the best thing to actually do. And that's actually in life too, to be yourself and not allow other people to get up in there to try to make you out to be something that you're fucking not. And that's the reason why he took 2 fucking L's in his whole career. And I think, and I know, but I think he finally realized that. And if you watch the fight, Joshua hurt that guy a few times. You look at fucking Usyk's face. Usyk didn't leave that motherfucker unscathed. You know what I'm saying? Usyk got hurt. You know what I'm saying? He didn't leave that fight unscathed. I'm talking about he got hurt to the body and he got hurt upstairs. He didn't leave that fight unscathed. But when you got somebody trying to, I don't know how the fuck they made him believe that he's this masterful class boxer. You know what I'm saying? But they did. And he tried it against somebody that he just could not outbox. He could not outbox him. He can't. He's not fast on his feet like he should be. He's too goddamn bulky to be fast on his feet like he should be, because then he'd be worried about fucking gassing out. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in that fight. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? I think all that muscle, and then people trying to say that's the best thing for you. Tommy Fury is going in that direction too. A lot of people is going in that direction, but I think that he's going to get this one. I think it's not going to go to decision. I think he's finally going to catch him.
I think so. And do you know why? Just before Stormy asks a question, I don't know, Mike. It's very hard to think, because is he Broner 2.0? He's got a fear of letting his hands go, and his soul's been taken. But I think you're right, Mike. I think he's going to go for it this time. He's got to. If he doesn't, his career's over. I wouldn't say it's over, but you know what? Go on, Stormy. My bad, bro.
No, it's good. You guys are bringing up some great talking points. My question to each of you, and even those who are listening to us out there in the chat, is this. Do you feel that if the going gets tough, that Usyk is the type of fighter that will go for broke and try to go balls out to win? Or do you think he will settle in and take his beating like a man, so to speak, and try to survive? I have my thoughts about that, but I wanted to hear what you guys had to say about that. Because AJ being the bigger guy, younger guy, stronger guy like that, he should be able to do some things and be successful. And Mike made a great point. In the first fight, he did. But over the course and duration of the entire fight, he got taken to school. So let's hear your answers to that question. Do you think that Usyk could go balls to the wall? And if it called for it, if it ended up being that type of circumstance?
Go on. I keep opening my big mouth first. Go on, Michael.
No, go ahead. Doesn't matter.
I was just going to say, do you mean if he's getting it stuck to him, Stormy, do you think he'll go for, like, knock him out, or do you think he'll just stick to his game plan, even though he's under a load of pressure? Is that what you meant, Stormy?
Yes.
Fucking, that's an odd question, that, really. No, I think he'll stick to his game plan. Because I don't think Useka's got the power to knock. I don't think he's got the power to go for it to try and knock Joshua out. I think
that's right. I think you're right, Laws, but I would just think that is because he'd be scared about getting knocked out because he felt that he felt how Joshua hits, and he ain't gonna want to fucking get caught.
Yeah, I'm along that lines, and yeah. Tyrone?
I don't know. I've never seen him in a pinch moment like that. You know, when he fought Bridas, even though it was close, he just stuck to the game plan and he edged it out. But I don't know. He's just a winner. Like, he's everything. He just wins everything he did at cruiserweight, even in his amateur career. He hasn't lost in a long time. Like Trevor Bryan, the great Trevor Bryan. The great Trevor Bryan hadn't lost in a long time either.
Well, that's a total different thing. but I feel what you're saying. The reason that I was smiling, Tyrone, is because you answered the question in a perfect manner. See, you said that this guy, Usyk, is just a winner. And at the end of the day, winners do what's necessary to win. Yeah. Always remember that. Always. Even if it requires the back against the wall, some kind of way of pulling out victory, they will seek that opportunity. That doesn't mean that he's going to go reckless, but that means that if the opportunity presents himself, he will do what's necessary. Joshua doesn't have that type of experience. Joshua doesn't have that type of mindset. Joshua cannot be goaded into doing that, even though he may need to, just as he was in the first fight. He just couldn't do certain things. Now, the lucky punch situation, being the bigger guy, being able to lay something on him and hurt him and get him out of there under those auspices, that's always on the table, because usually a good big man can beat the good little man. But we're talking about somebody who has been so successful in all facets of the sport that it will require someone have a little bit more than just that power punch, I think. And the other aspect of that is Usyk could have a lapse in concentration, get caught with something, get hurt, and get taken out. That can happen. See, these are those type of intangibles that my brother Kurt Sugar, RIP to him, used to talk about all the time, because we don't leave a window of opportunity open. We just want to hear cut and dry. Who you think will win? Who you think will win?
Yeah.
But when you start putting these variables on the table, then you have to look at the scales of those variables and how they weigh out. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I think the fight is there for Usyk to win. Joshua has to take it away from him.
He's got to, Stormy.
He's got to take it away from him. Yeah. And we haven't seen that aspect in Joshua. Remember his rematch with Ruiz. He fought on the back foot, looking to keep Ruiz at a distance, looking to tie him up if he got close or whatever, and move away from the guy. He didn't go in there and say, damn it, I'm the real heavyweight champion. I'm taking my titles back. He didn't do that.
But he's got to this time.
Stormy.
He's got to this time. That's a great point, that.
Well, Stormy, Joshua has jumped on people and got him out of there. Before Andrew Ruiz, before the first fight went, but yeah, before the second fight with Andrew Ruiz, Anthony Joshua has jumped on people and got him out of there. What I was saying was the problem was when that whole aspect of becoming a boxer came into play, the safety net got put on. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't used to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And he looked a bit gassed, but he didn't. We never seen him gas like he was against Usyk. You know what I'm saying? And so that probably was another aspect that he was worried about depleting his energy. But from the previous fight and hearing what he's saying after the Andrew Ruiz fight, the second one, and then hearing what he's saying leading up to the first Usyk fight, I don't think he ever had a plan of knocking the motherfucker off. I think his plan was to outbox him. And that's the reason why he boxed like that, and it didn't happen. But I think that you are correct. It's like, if you know you can't outbox this guy with the skill set and the attributes that you possess, you're going to have to get this guy up out of here.
Mike, can I ask you a question? Oh, sorry, Mike, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go on, Mike. Finish up, bro.
Because, and the reason why I say that is because Usyk is going to land punches, right? If you're not showing ring generalship and Usyk is showing off to be the aggressor of the fight as far as his offense abilities, you're going to have to knock that guy out.
Mike, can I ask you a question? What this is what racks my brain about AJ. He is like a puzzle. You got to try and work the guy out. Why when he I agree with what you just said, Mike. He was trying to outbox Usyk and he was getting pieced up. But why did he between 7 and 8 go for what he normally does, dominate, push the fighter back and start hitting him? And he had Usyk fucking. There was one shot I always remember it where I think it's in round 7 where he's got Usyk on the rope and he catches Usyk with a right hand and Usyk's like, fucking hell, what's just hit me?
You mean to the body or to the head?
I think it's to the head, Ty. I'm not
I
too
remember
sure.
him taking I remember it was in the middle rounds and like Joshua landed a body shot and then Usyk went like that.
Yeah,
it could have been that there, Ty. It could have been.
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
But what my question is, Mike, is why for 2 rounds did he put when he was being successful by going forward and just sticking to his own game plan? Why did he switch back to trying to box him again?
Because it's the sixth. It's because when he's doing that, when he's doing that between the 6th and 8th round, just like Derek Chisora and Dillian White, they don't have no fucking gas. You see what I'm saying? And he wasted too much gas trying to outbox the guy, getting fucking hit, because when you getting hit, that takes away from you too.
Oh,
see
yeah,
what I'm saying?
I know that,
and
yeah.
we talking about the 6th and 8th round. So he knew he was down in rounds, and so he had to do something to win some rounds back. He knew somewhere that he wasn't doing too pretty good in the fight, that he had to win some rounds back. You know what I'm saying? And he thought he could go take the foot off the gas and try to box again. But you can't box against a guy when you're against a guy like Usyk when you're fucking slow.
Yeah. Just let me read.
You don't know how to box.
So let me read these 2 comments quickly. Russell's put, I'm looking on the wrong one. He's put, my take is Usyk is, in my mind, pound for pound, and Joshua cannot beat him on skills, only size. Yes, that's a very good point. But if he can adopt to use that size, could he beat him? I don't know. London.
I mean, he is right. You can't just be size, Laws. You can't just beat him on size.
I know. He's like Stormy says. He's got to, mate. It's virtually sink or swim, isn't he? What do you say? Sink. I can't remember the saying.
Yeah, sink or swim.
Yeah, he's got to go all out for it. Just let me read this last comment quick. London G's put Loz. He had success because Usyk said he was trying to knock him out, but his trainer said, Usyk, don't do that. Oh, right. I didn't know that. But I know if you watch after the fight, look at Usyk's face and look at Joshua's face. Usyk's face is marked up to hell. But I don't know. That don't mean anything. Usyk, like you say, Usyk's you can't take it away from him. The guy's a phenomenal fighter. Phenomenal fighter. And Tyrone said this years ago. Tyrone said, I think Usyk's probably one of the best fighters out there. I just think, though, just quickly, I think if Joshua goes hell for broke, I think he gets the win. I think he gets him. And I definitely think Joshua can knock him out. But it's like a lion trying to catch a mouse. I wouldn't say a mouse, but do you know what I mean? Usyk is that much slippier and skill. I don't know. I'm chatting shit now. I'm blabbling on a bit. But for me, if I was Joshua, what I would do, I'd have to just fucking let them hands go and just go for it. I'd have to try and knock him out. There's no point in trying to box him. There's no point in trying to let the lad build up rounds and then try and get him in the later half like what Lomachenko did to Teofimo Lopez. Fuck that, man. I'd just have to go for it. But is there any final thoughts before I get up out of here? Because I'm going to go sleep because it's like 12:30 at night. Yeah, up here he goes. You ain't
Tyrone
going
didn't have
nowhere. Hey?
Tyrone didn't have nothing.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking back what I said about one of the legends in our sport, Trevor Bryan, because he hadn't lost. He hadn't lost since he was 15 years old, and I can only imagine what goes through a mind of somebody like that, who's that accomplished. But yeah, with Usyk, he's a talent, man. He's a real talent. I think in this division, he shows that you don't have to be big and lumbering and MMA moves for people to give you praise. Some guys we know do MMA moves and chokeholds and they get praise. But I think I can't go against the grain here. I'll save my money and I'll pick it on Usyk.
So right, let me do around the board before we get out of here. Mike, who you got?
Well, I got it. I got AJ. I said.
Right.
I'll just put my body armor in the refrigerator. That's all.
What for? Hardening up?
Body armor. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, right. I thought you meant body armor as in a fucking bulletproof vest.
Nah, 20 bottles for about $18.
Get in.
Yeah.
I've got AJ. I think AJ will do it, pull it off. Stormy, I don't need to ask you, but I'm just asking you anyway.
I'm going to go with the winner, Usyk, but let me say, I could see a scenario where AJ gets him out of there because, again, something that we've never seen from him. If he decides to do it, grow some big boy balls and go out there and say, I'm the best heavyweight, I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. Remember, it's kind of like, remember what Lennox Lewis did to Andrew Galata?
Yes.
Now that's not nice. That's not nice.
Yeah. Hold on. The point I'm trying to make on that is this. Nobody expected that from Lennox at all.
No, they didn't.
But in the aftermath of that fight and how it turned out, I recognized something. And I don't even know if Emmanuel had discussed this with Lennox. He may have. Galata was the type of fighter that if you let him get going, you got a rough night ahead of you because he had boxing ability. He was a strong guy. He wasn't mentally strong, but he was a physically strong and capable guy. Had a very good boxing skills, good jab, decent power. If you let him get going into a rhythm, you got a big fight ahead of you. Lennox took all that off the table by going out there and basically pulling the Mike Tyson on Galata. He just totally blitzed him in that first round.
Stormy.
Something that Riddick Bowe should have done as well, but Bowe didn't do that. And that forever put Lennox in a different place psychologically with fighters, because then he began to understand that as long as he presents himself as the man, he commands the respect, he's the man that's the most dangerous or whatever, then it becomes an easier task when you go in and take care of your business. See, that's what we haven't seen from AJ. You could see it in this fight. That's why I leave that window open for his opportunity. But it's getting late. As Black Widow would tell the Hulk in the Avengers film, the sun's getting real low. You know what I'm saying? It's time for him to do his thing.
Do you know what, Stormy? CDM, salute to you, but I was going for Lennox in that fight. Right, just I don't mean to be butting in, Stormy, but just quickly, Gallotta was the only guy to me who I ever saw put Riddick Bowe look like a little kid. If he went for the low blows, what he kept doing against Riddick Bowe couldn't deal with him. And
you know what that was too, Laws? He psychologically, he took Bowe's heart. He did.
Yeah.
And Gallotta was such a mental midget. He enjoyed and embraced the fact that he had taken Bowe's heart. And that was more important to him than actually beating him in the fight. Yes. No matter how silly that may sound.
It don't sound silly to me because I know.
He was relishing the fact that he was bullying Bowe, doing shit to Bowe, being successful, and Bowe couldn't do nothing to him about it. And he relished in that. Even the riot and all of that stuff. Gallotta can always to this day say, I still whooped his ass. I still whooped his ass.
Yes,
you understand? Yes. So man, fighters are funny. They're really, crazy up here. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
I read a thing about Gallotta years ago. He was in some restaurant in Poland, and something happened with another person sat across the table from him. He must have made a remark against him or something. I always remember reading it in some newspaper, and Gallotta got the guy and tipped him upside down, picked him up out of his chair and tipped him upside down and emptied his pockets, and then just put him back on his seat. He was a fucking nutcase, he was. But you're right. When Lennox Lewis, I can always remember the media, it was sort of very similar to when Nigel Benn fought Gerald McClellan. The media didn't give Nigel Benn a cat and else chance. All we knew was this American was coming over. He'd been steamrolling people left, right, and centre. He'd done Julian the Hawk Jackson. He had no chance. And it was very similar with the media over here when he fought Gallotta because of what had happened with Riddick Bowe. And he was saying Lewis, he was a big underdog. And Lewis, basically, the bell just went bing. He ran over and fucking nailed him in the corner, didn't he? And I always remember Gallotta's face like that. He was shocked.
Yeah, he was shocked. He just totally caught him off guard. And,
excellent.
That means something sometimes.
Yes, sir. Right, boys, I'm up out of here.
You ain't going nowhere.
I knew he was going to do that. I knew, but it only means one thing when Mr. Johnson does this. Whereas,
don't do it, Laws. Don't do it. Nah, man. Hey, don't do that shit. Don't fucking click that fucking shit.
I got you. Here you go.
You bunda! Oh, piss off!
Okay, Laws. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Up out of here. An absolute pleasure. Mike.
Right. Thanks for having me.
Stormy, Tyrone.
Stormy, always a pleasure.
Mike. Have a good one, bros.
Tyrone, are you on later, Stormy, or what? Because I'll be up later.
Yeah, I'm on at my Friday night chop session. I'm actually putting some stuff together right now for the show. But
I'll drop in. I'll drop in. So I'll be up, me, because I ain't got work tomorrow and I ain't got my son, so I ain't got nothing else better to do. So I'll be up. Right, peace out, brothers. Peace to everyone in the chat. Thanks for coming through. Excellent. Catch you later.
Peace.
Peace out.